Ciao Internet Accent here. I'm back again. It has been a long while since the last video, but you know what? There hasn't been a lot to talk about lately, both in the video game, like space and tech space and whatever. Even though there have been like news and releases and stuff, but nothing that really piques my interest that much. But there are a few things that I want to talk about. And let's start with my impressions of Mortal Kombat 1. So Mortal Kombat 1 is new fighting games from Netherlands Studios. Of course, the last chapter of a long-standing series of video games, very much loved by a lot of like fans all over the world. But this is the last iteration. I've not played it. I've just watched people play it, people that understand fighting games that I can trust the opinion of, mostly. So I made my ideas about the game, but just watching it, it's pretty clear to me how the game will likely feel to play, because I'm used to play. I play a lot of fighting games, basically all of them, right? And what I do like about fighting games mostly is how they feel to play. So how responsive they are, how fast they are, how creative they can be, for the player to express himself in very different ways, right? So there are a few characteristics that I'm looking for when I look for a new fighting game to play. And here's the deal. Mortal Kombat has always been a series that I love, as far as like characters, the stories, even though the stories are pretty stupid, but cheesy. Mortal Kombat to like 90s stories that are fun nevertheless. And I like the whole atmosphere of it, like the darkness of the game, the silly violence that it shows on screen and stuff like that. And I really loved the first movie, which everybody likes. Is maybe still up to this day the best video game movie of all time, which is weird. But I have nostalgia for these characters. I have I feel something for the caster, for the Mortal Kombat series. Still, I had historically a lot of trouble getting into the games. And so, first and foremost, from a visual standpoint, I usually don't like the way characters in Mortal Kombat animate. Okay? And I was hoping that Mortal Kombat 1 was going to be different, much more I don't know, much more fluid animation. I was hoping for fluider animation. I was hoping for less awkward movements, for animation that conveyed the impact of moves much better, like many other fighting games do, especially Japanese fighting games do. And I was hoping, since this game took a little bit longer than usual to make, from Netherlands Studios, I was hoping that there was gonna be a change in that aspect, right? But what I'm seeing here, so there have been a lot of changes for this game. First and foremost, the mood of the game is changed. The color palette is much more colorful and bright than the usual very dark tones of Mortal Kombat 10 and 11, and also 9 going back. 9 was more colorful than 10 and 11, but there was also just the nature of graphics back then. It was difficult to make darker tone graphics pop with those kind of engines. Still, they changed the mood. They changed. It is actually a reboot, so it's called Mortal Kombat 1 because they reset the universe in some way. And but the one change that I was hoping for is not there. Or let me phrase this correctly. There is a change in animation style, but it's not the change that I was looking for. If you watch this gameplay here on screen, you can see that the animation are still MK-like, right? The movement is a little bit awkward. They look like kind of like marionettes moving, not like fighting game characters. They look more like, so in an effort to make them more realistic, they look just weird and awkward while doing stuff. Especially the walking cycles and the dashes look very, very bad in my opinion. It looks they look sluggish. The hit don't make you feel the impact as much as you would hope for, and it is also kind of slow. But animations like this are kind of similar to what we saw in Mortal Kombat 11 actually, but there is a big difference here that they implemented for some reason. Maybe they thought that they would be able to convey more impact like that, because in some Japanese games they actually do that. Is that they introduced hit stop animation. So if you watch carefully, you could see that when the actual moves connect with the other character, there's a little bit of stutter, like a stop, like the animation is like freezing for a moment, and that is usually called hit stop, and it's a style of animation for this kind of games that you can like it or not. But I think it really works well when you have already fluid and snappy animation. And I don't think that really benefits the like slow and awkward movement of a game like Mortal Kombat. So in my opinion, they actually made the animation worse, which is not what I was hoping for. Because since I really like the characters and I really like the universe of Mortal Kombat, I was hoping that I would like find something to make me want to try the game and stick with it a little bit, because I tried everyone. I tried MK9, 10, and 11, and none of them like managed to keep me occupied for more than a couple of months, even less probably. 11 even less than that. 10 was a little more fast and more fun, even though animation were bad. And 11 in Mortal Kombat 11 animation became a little bit better, not that much better, but a little bit better. And now basically what I'm seeing is just MK11 with assist character, which are called cameo. If you don't know about it, I don't wanna explain the game, because there are plenty of videos out there that do that for me. So I just wanna talk about the things that like interest me. I know it sounds kind of selfish, but that's how this channel goes, because I don't do this for work. I do it just for fun. So I make a few videos just when I want to talk about something, and I talk about something the way I want to talk about it, and I don't care about what people think. You may have noticed that in my like previous videos. So anyhow, if you like my content, please like, share, subscribe. Every little bit of help is appreciated. Back to MK. So visually, kind of a MK11 2.0, right? Nothing special, nothing crazy about it. Graphics are like fidelity of graphics, top notch as always. The production value of MK, very nice every time. Also, I really like the fact that they have masked the loading for the matches. With the clash screen between the two characters that talk, like a close-up of the two characters talking to each other while the game is loading, and that there's a really nice seamless transition from the character select screen to the actual gameplay. Very, very nicely done there. They actually, none of them, they never like missed the mark as far as presentation and overall quality, production value of the games. That's not the issue of these games for me. Still, the thing is, bad animation are not just bad animation like to look at. They in fighting games, they actually like influence the way the game feels, because the snappiness and reactiveness of fighting games really depends also on animation, not only other like obvious factors like input lag and like actual game speed and startup of the moves and stuff like that. If you know about like fighting game terminology, you may understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, I encourage you, if you're not a fighting game enthusiast like me, I encourage you to try to get in some of these fighting games and try to get into these fighting games with a little bit of like more knowledge, because once you understand the mechanics a little bit more and the basics of how fighting games work, I assure you you're gonna find your fun in them, because it's a really great video game genre. Check the Infield Fighting Games Guide on the internet. Look for Infield Fighting Games Guide, and then there's a glossary which is very, very useful for understanding like the various terminology for these kind of games. Anyhow, there are a lot of factors that like impact how fighting games feel, and I think this game has every one of them working against the feel of the game. Every single one of the aspect. Animation work against the feel of the game, the speed of the game, which seems to be even slower than Mortal Kombat 11, that was already considered a very slow Mortal Kombat. And if you consider a very slow Mortal Kombat game very slow, compared to the rest of the fighting games, is extremely slow, because the other fighting games are much, much faster than Mortal Kombat in general. So if you consider 11 as a slow Mortal Kombat, imagine how slow it is. And this one is even like seems to be even slower. It kind of picks up the pace when you get into combos. Like they added a lot of like aerial combos and stuff like that, which look fast when you execute them. But the neutral, so when the characters square off and just like face each other and space each other out to make like their moves to try and open up the opponent, that looks super slow. And the movement itself, the way they walk, the way they dash, the way they like move in general, it's super, super slow looking. So I'm really, really afraid that I won't like this game. I will try it, most likely. I don't know yet, but I probably will try it. And I feel like I will hate the way it feels pretty much instantly. Which is a shame, because it looks good, it's fun, fatalities are really fun, like the violence is so stupid, it's fun, and some characters look very good, right, as far as like just looks and design. Look at Kenshi. I love how Kenshi looks. The blind samurai is looking great. But I already know I'm not gonna like this game. That's a big problem. And this is the kind of fighting games that like most of like the casual audience will buy, because they just want to hit buttons and see some bones snapping off, and they will have their fun with this. But for enthusiasts like me and many other, I think this game is not gonna do it. Basically. Now, I don't know, guys. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you think about the game in the comments below. Let me know if you're thinking to buy this game and give it a try or not. And also tell me if you feel the same way about this animation in general from Netherlands Studios games. If you feel the same as me, that they look just awful and impactless and weirdly comic, let me know in the comment below. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Ciao, 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 ciao.